Hey, and welcome. This is a quick tutorial on how to use Zoom on your computer. Now, I don't have it plugged in from my phone to show you how that works, but basically you'll just go to your app library and you search Zoom and then download it and then open it and create an account or log in with an existing account. And now you have the app on your phone so that when you get an email or an update saying, hey, this is our Zoom call link, all you have to do is click that. It'll say, do you want to open this in the app sometimes? It opens it, logs you in, you're all set, all good to go. This is more of a tutorial on how to use it for the desktop. First things first, we have to download the app to our computer. And it's really easy. You go to zoom.us and you could do /download. I'm not going to go straight to download because I want to show you how you can find it when you land on this very not helpful page, right? So I just land on their page and they're trying to get me to sign up. I'm also zoomed in right now, so I'm going to do Command 0, which sets us back to a 1-to-1 zoom. You could also do that under, I think, View, Zoom in, Zoom out, enter full screen, actual size. Shows it right there. So you do actual size as Command 0. And it doesn't give us an option to just download it and start using it, right? They're trying to get us to sign up. So if you haven't ever signed up for an account, I do recommend you do because it is free. So you could go here, sign up, do your birth date, This is all verification stuff. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Let's say you don't want to do that. I recommend always scrolling down to the footer of a website and looking to see if what you want is there. And now it's really tiny text here, so I'm going to zoom up. So Command ++++. And we'll scroll down. There's download. Oh, it's so easy and fun to find. And you can see that there's a bunch of different apps. So if you can get your Android, your iPhone, you can get browser extensions and the client. And what you want is the meetings client. But you can even skip that and just click download, because there's a difference between a meeting and a webinar. A meeting is where everyone is present, as if you're having a meeting, right? It's a group of people coming together to solve challenges or discover opportunities. Webinar is more like a classroom where you have a person, the host, which would like be Lola maybe, and then the classroom, which would be the empathology students or something like that, right? That's the difference. You're not on camera when you're on a webinar, unless, just like in a classroom, if the teacher calls on you or the instructor says, hey, Jessica, I would love to have you up here. They can invite you to become a participant or a panelist as part of the webinar. And that's different. Whereas what we do for empathology and our coaching calls and everything, those are meetings. They're two separate purchases that you have to do if you want to get the professional version where you don't have time limits and all that. So just so you understand the difference between the two. What we have here then is an ability to download it. Now, it knows, it's smart enough to know that I'm on a Mac. So I don't have to worry that, oh no, am I going to download the PC version or the Mac? It already knows, which is great. And you can see it also says, it actually doesn't on this one. Sometimes they do, but it's not saying like download Zoom meetings for Mac. Like it should say that in the title, but it doesn't. So what you can do is click download. You'll see that I've already downloaded it in the lower left. And here it is, the Zoom package. You would just go open. And I already have it installed. So it's going to be like, oh, you already have it installed. And so you just choose that, yep, I want it to install. Sounds great. It's going to install. Close application and install. It's saying because my Zoom is already open. And so I'm not going to do that. But you just go through this process. And now, once you have it installed and someone sends you a link or you register for a call through like empathology/coaching, then you're going to be able to just click that link in your email, and it should, if you're on that device and you have the app, say, hey, do you want to open this in the app? Or if you've already allowed it, it'll just put you into the app and it logs you in. It'll ask you to connect your audio and your visual. So that's a really cool process with that. So let's say we downloaded it, we got it all set up. So we've got it downloaded and set up and installed, and now I'm in a meeting. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm actually going to leave this meeting because Lola has already invited me into it. Now, normally we don't invite our people into it, and I have to turn off notifications. So to turn off notifications, you just come up to that little part, little dash, click on Do Not Disturb, Notifications go away until tomorrow. Great. So I'm going to kick myself out of this one, and then we're going to have Lola re-invite me over on her computer. So give me a hot second to go do that. Okay, so I'm getting a cute little invite of Lola inviting me, and I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to join. Now, normally you're not going to have that. So what you're usually going to have is when you click your link or whatnot, you're going to get to this screen where it's going to show you what your current camera is. And you can have this option to always show the video preview dialog when joining a meeting so it won't pop up this preview. I sometimes like it because if I look at myself and go, oh my gosh, I haven't put on all my makeup or whatever I do for my own self-care, I go, oh crap, definitely joining without a video. So I'm going to join without a video. And then Lola, I have to go over here and click her thing because she's not here with me right now while I'm doing that. There you go. She just admitted me. Boom. There we are. So she's not there, so she doesn't have her video. And right now you'll see that it's saying, hey, we sense that you're talking, but you're muted. So what I'm going to go over on the screen is what we have for our controls. Let's just start at the top left. So right now, it's showing that the meeting information is secure. That's what that little badge with the green check is. And it's just saying like, hey, this is a secure link. And so this shows me my participant ID. Most of this stuff you don't need to know. It's not really useful other than if you needed to share the link with someone, you would copy the link and then you go and give it to someone else and they'd be able to jump in. So recording shows that Lola is recording this to the cloud. And so that's what we do so that people can time travel to our calls or clients can have access to being able to, download and watch their client session with us so that they can revisit it, especially if, it's intense sometimes, the stuff that we go through and share and bring up so that you can look at it another time and get even more information, maybe even watch how you were showing up. It's an excellent way to explore what it's like to be on camera, right? Because this is pretty intense sometimes to stare at these things, stare at people's faces, share very vulnerable things. That's telling you that it's recording right there. Over here is the timestamp of how long this meeting has been going on. View is really cool. This is a way to not overwhelm yourself by seeing everyone. So right now it's gallery. So what gallery is doing is it's saying, hey, this is everyone who's on the meeting right now. And so I can click that now. If we had a bunch more participants, it would show all the people. And if they didn't have a photo with their profile, they just had their name or they had their video on, but their audio off, that would all show up in here. And then you can choose to have speaker. So it'll show like a little thumbnail up here of our participants. And then down here, we'll see who is speaking at that time. And that is the person who's speaking. And it's a nice way of just focusing on that person, right? Rather than getting distracted by, someone eating some food, someone petting their cat, someone walking back and forth, who knows? This is a nice way that I do it when I'm speaking to one person, like on a hot seat or in clients. That way I can follow them. So that's one way you can do it. As a host, you have more control, but I'm not going into that. This is more for how you as a participant are going to experience it. So coming down, we see leave. That's obviously, it's going to ask you if I click leave, it's going to ask me again. I can give feedback, cancel. So I could leave that meeting. Over here, we have reactions. I rarely ever use the reactions. They're kind of newish. You can raise your hand. You can laugh at things. You can heart things. You can know slower, faster if people are asking you questions. All that fun stuff. Ta-da! So I guess I'm like throwing a ta-da on my icon. I don't know. As a host, I would have to have gallery on and then I would see a ta-da. And I don't know if they even get a notification. I'm not in front of Lola's. We don't use it much. Not a big deal. Record. The record is only if the host gives you permission to do it. And I haven't used this, so don't really even bother with it because it's already recording. I haven't used this feature. Maybe it's great. I would just go up to help and search record and explore the help center and see what that means and what that allows me to do that's different than that recording. Share screen. Again, I have to have the host be able to give me access to that, so I can't do it as a participant. Chat is wonderful. Chat is where I can say, this is amazing. Cool. This is amazing. I have special emojis that I hide in an app. I like it. That way I can just type in shortcuts and I get my emoji without having to go find it on Google or find it on my phone or whatever. While we have the chat up, let's talk a little bit about how it works in the chat. So in the chat, what you have is you have to everyone or specific people. Now, sometimes this might be disabled by the host. We usually leave it on so that you all, if there needs to be a sidebar where you're in a group chat, like an empathology call, and you want to be able to say, hey, like, let's connect more because we live in the same area or we're facing the same challenges, or I'd love to have an accountability partner, or I really like you and you seem cool and we have a lot in common. So, or just thank you so much for that share. That was wonderful. Or sending like a direct love, right? We want to kind of like watch how much we do our sidebars in those group calls just so that you can stay present with what is being shared at that moment. And it's a great way to connect. So I will do that sometimes. A challenge with this is that if I say, like, I love you to Lola, and then someone else shares something and it's really great, and I'm like, oh yeah, 100%. And I do that, and I hit enter. Oops, I forgot to set it back to everyone. And so I'll have to actually either copy this. So I just came up, hover, click the 3 dots, and paste. And now it's going to go to everyone. And you can see that difference. It says who it's going to. And this is a cool feature. Now, if I want to send a message back to Lola, all I have to do is click her name and it immediately takes me back to Lola Pickett. Now, if I want to go back to everyone, I just click everyone or do the drop down. So that's the kind of funky thing that happens. And I forget sometimes too, where I'll be sidebarring with a person saying, hey, that's really awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'll try to go send it and I'll send it back to that person. It's fine. Just say, oops, don't have to say anything and just click everyone and type it again or copy and paste. You can send files. We don't usually do that because there's not anything really to share. And it also doesn't share from anything that's really easy to, like, great to use sometimes. Like, unless you're having to share a document and you're really having to do that, we don't do that in our calls, at least. And then you have save chat. Save chat is really nice. We still save the chat, but it takes us some time. It takes us a little bit of time to be able to get it available because we have our VAs who are formatting it so it looks pretty, has the links all clean, so it's enjoyable to look at and use. And that takes sometimes 24 to 48 hours for us to turn that around and get it up on the site. So before you leave the call, if you really need the data that's in there before that time period, I recommend you just click save chat and it'll save the chat down to your computer and you can say show in Finder and then it'll show you in your downloads folder where it is. Now you have the chat saved. You can leave, the meeting can end, and you at least have that chat to reflect on, right? We still have to take the time to upload our video when our team does that. It's not instantaneous because we want to make sure that's hosted the correct way for us. So that's the chat. Now, if we come over to participantes, the participants, and again, if you click chat, it'll go away or stack the chat and we'll have both windows up. So participants shows us who is here and you can do some cool stuff. You can unmute yourself. Unless you're a host, then you can mute and unmute people. So I'm now talking and you can see my mute, there's a pretty bicycle. You can see my microphone is bouncing because it's registering my audio. And so I am on a live mic right now talking and being recorded. So I can click mute here, or I can go, I think under meeting, unmute audio, Command-Shift-A. I don't think my Command-Shift-A, there it goes. It works in here. So Command-Shift-A, if you want to use your keyboard, which I do recommend you start learning how to use hotkeys because it speeds up your ability to use these tools. And we'll go over this in tech for technophobes. So I'm back to mute. I could do that up here, unmute. And I can also rename myself. So I could do TJ, which is my emoji shortcut for my little tiger emoji. And I can also edit my profile picture. That's only if you have an account, I believe. And I think they even make you have an account when you download and install the app. So just create an account. It's free. It's not anything big that you have to deal with on that front. You can invite other people if you're allowed to for that. And so you can go and put in people's email. You can copy an invite link. Now it's copied to my clipboard, so I could paste it in a text message. I could send it in a email, whatever. I can copy the entire invitation. That's all the text, like the phone numbers and all that cool stuff. And I can even show you right now. There we go. So there's everything that will show up when we copy and paste from the invitation. Now, if I just copy the invite link, all it is just that invite link, the short one. So that's all there. So then I'm just going to delete because I don't need it. So that's all under the invite. And again, you can do another unmute me. So they really allow you to mute yourself in lots of places. So just know that you have a mute up here, unmute here. You have not the down drop, right? And then over here, and also the hotkey. So that's everything there. And then you also have these little carrots that will sometimes show up, especially if someone gives you share screen or you're hosting. The little carrot gives you a little more information, kind of like that context menu where we right click something, which isn't giving me a right click on any of this stuff. But other places we can do a right click, have stuff pop up. And then we just start video. Let's say I'm ready. I've done all my stuff. Boom, there we go. We're on video. Yay. I'm still not unmuted. Oh, I have a hot corner right there. So you'll see that if I go too far in my corner, it shows me my entire desktop. Now we have our audio back on and we're ready to rock. Okay. The next thing that I wanted to show you, and this will be all of it, right? Nice part is you can always pause and go back. So this part is we're going to go to command comma, and we go command comma, at least on Macs, right? I'm not a PC dude. You can usually find the preferences by going under the name of it. And I believe it's the same on PC, or you find like the file and what you're looking at is for preferences. You could always use whatever the search is and type preferences, right? Preferences. And I hover over it and boom, it gives me a cute little dill bob thing. I go, oh, there's the preferences. And I come over and I click it. That's what this screen is right here. And so I'm not going to go over every single thing. Just take your time, poke around. You're not going to break anything. What you can do is have everything show up in here for you, right? Show my meeting duration. You can see that time turns on and off. I can have dual monitors if I want. Always show meeting controls. That's up there. I can add the zoom to my bar up here at the top. I can stop my video, remind me, set my system dialog. I can choose my skin tones I want. And then I'll go into video. This is my video of what camera I want to choose. So I have two cameras on my computer. I have an external one, this Mevo right here. And then I also have my built-in FaceTime. And there's my built-in FaceTime. And it's really crappy because my computer is 6 years old because I don't like getting new stuff if I don't have to. So I can also touch up my appearance. I can erase the wrinkles and look luscious and lavish. Adjust for low light, all that stuff. So I'll go into Mevo. I'll crank it up a little bit more. Yeah, that's really softening them. Boom. I'm just like a little young little duck right now. I'm going to be a little more real. There we go. There's a little bit of softness. We'll soften it a tiny bit. And that's pretty much it. I can mirror it. So I could do a dance. Do the dance. Do the dance. And I don't know why you'd want to do this in case you're one of those people who you want to see that you're describing like left and right. And so it's exactly what it is versus the reality of this is my right hand, but it's showing up on my left screen. It's up to you. I always find it strange because I'm like, that's not how my part goes. My part doesn't, I don't wave to this side. I thought I waved the other way. Yeah, that's the way I wave. But sometimes it's easier when you want to touch things and touch yourself up, put it into mirror mode. And that way you can quickly be like, oh yeah, there you go. There's that tuft of hair there. Oh yeah. Let's adjust. Oh yeah. Let's open because it's actually quite warm in here. Oh yeah. There we go. I'm all set for some calls. And there you go. You can always turn off your video when you join a meeting. This is great if you don't want to be on video. Just turn off my video when joining a meeting. And this is that preview that we saw at the beginning. You can hide the non-video participants. So Lola isn't participating, so we're going to kick her off. I'm going to go back to my eCam virtual cam. There we go. And then you can show how many people are going to be displayed per view. You can see yourself as the active speaker while speaking. I don't usually like to do that because it's distracting for me. I'm going to unhide non-video people. I'm going to turn that off because it's not as big of a deal for me. You can display people's names. That way you can know who you're referring to. That's all video. Then if we go to audio, you can choose where you want your stuff. Now, these are Bluetooth headphones. So my Bluetooth headphones will play through in here, and I actually have to connect them, and they weren't connected before. And now they are. But I'm not going to hear anything unless Lola is speaking. Then it'll come through here. So that's how I select it. If you leave it on system, it's whatever your computer plays through. It's normal speakers. If you plug in headphones or like an aux cord for a speaker, all that stuff is going to go in there and come through the system. And you have the output level, right? It's how loud you want it. You can boost it, lower it. Then you'll have the microphone. And the microphone is usually on all computers because big government loves to spy on us. So everything has a microphone these days. And I use a very fancy one because I love audio. And hopefully this sounds good. Apologies if it doesn't. And this is all going through a driver I have that connects with a USB, and it's super fancy and all this whiz-bang stuff that you don't need. All you need really is probably like an iPhone, Apple headset, Android headset, plug it in, or Bluetooth to it if it has a mic. These headphones have the horrible mics. I never use this mic. I use this mic. And that's where I get to choose it, right? I could use the Mevo mic up there. I could use my built-in. I could use these headphones, and they're horrendous, so I don't. So I just always leave it on my own driver. And I can do the input volume. Can't control that because I'm saying automatically adjust the microphone volume. So that's going to naturally help modulate it so it doesn't spike with loud, sharp stuff. Because I think if I turned it off, spike. I don't know if it's even working. Who knows? I don't bother with it. I leave it on to auto. Suppress background noise. If you have a really noisy room, kick that thing up. It'll tell you exactly what's happening, like the feedback. You can say hi. Again, I just leave it on auto. It seems to do a pretty good job. Now, if you are, this is a great one. One of our empathology students, CA, reminded us about this. You can do a show and meeting option to enable original sound from the microphone. And so what that allows you to do, and I think that's then under here. You see these little up things? You can start choosing all your stuff from here. You can switch to phone audio settings. These are really cool for like the quick switch down here for your stuff again. So, and we'll get into this screen. Share screen. I'm not going to dive into this one because it's a lot, but basically you can choose to share special stuff that you want to be able to share. And don't have it set up, so I can't show you right now, but it'll pop up and ask you what you want to share, your whole screen, or you want to choose an application. So you can say, I only want to share my Chrome, or I want to share my text edit, or I want to share my Photoshop, whatever. It allows you to choose that for sharing. And just go through and check out the rest of the things about chats and everything so that you can see what you have to play around with. Again, backgrounds and filters. You can have stuff show up and be cool and super northerly lights, having a lot of fun. I usually leave them alone on none. And that's about all you really need. You have your profile, right? Edit, and you can do different things, show your email. And that's basically it. Now, you'll see that there's another little 3 dots. I can pin my video and it'll stay up here. And I can remove my pin. There's turn on original sound. I knew we'd find it. Let's see. Why would that? Let's go back to speaker. Let's unpin, remove pin. There's turn on original sound, turn off original sound, turn on original sound, turn off. So there we go. We found it. Now I come up here and I'd say pin, rename, edit profile picture, hide self view. Now I don't have to look at myself. And if I want to see myself, I would have to go back to show self view here. And there I am again. Now I want to pin myself again. Look at my handsome mug. And you'll see that the pin is down here too, showing that we've pinned my video. And the host, I think, can pin different people, or spotlight is what it's called actually. And that's how they play around with that. So lots of information, but I believe very helpful information. So hopefully that makes it easier for you to enjoy a Zoom meeting. A little different than a webinar. I don't have the webinar software because it's an extra subscription every month and we don't really use it that often. And it is available where you could buy it for a month, use it, and then take it off your subscription. And then when you do another time you need a webinar, just buy it again. There's other places like Easy Webinar, or like Evergreen Webinars. Just type in webinar software in Google and you'll find it. And that's it. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful for you to enjoy and use your Zoom app. And I look forward to having y'all in whatever it is that we're offering of late. Retreats, Empathology, Moon and Manifest, one-on-one work, tech for technophobes, all that good stuff. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day.